I mean, obviously, the Phillies defeated the Braves the last 2 years coming from the wild card, and those are the divisional winner, the Atlanta Braves. So, we're going to keep hope for the Braves here. Injuries are kind of hitting us hard, but if we can keep moving forward, I think this is a good team in the playoffs if they can just stay healthy. But
how'd our predictions pan out with the Phillies Braves series?
Not good. I thought the Braves were going to take 3, and they only took 1. I don't remember who. I think we were all pretty optimistic that the Braves would get at least 2.
I was going 2-2, but I did say that if I had to choose between 3-1 and 1-3, I would have leaned 1-3.
Yeah, it's a good team, and I mean the game 1, Braves are up 4-0 in the 7th inning and blow that game. End up losing 5-4 or 6-4. I can't remember the score. Game 2, they come back and get a win, level the series. Game 3, you get dominated. You're going to be honest here. Zach Wheeler dominated. He had a good pitching performance. Your team got dominated. But then Game 4, you go out there and it looks like your team's in a position to win again. You're up 2-0, and then next thing you know, it's 2-2. You go into extra innings, and offensive production just completely falls apart. But I guess that's enough for the Braves. I can rant about them all day.
Well, since then they've gone, they're the Rockies, but 2-0.
That is true. Unfortunately, the Mets are winning their games as well. So we were a half game up on the Mets when this series started, and we're only a half game up now. But hoping for a Mets loss tonight and a Braves win would be huge for the Atlanta program. So I guess it's time to move on to what everyone is looking forward to talking about here, and we got football. First and foremost, college football. Big weekend of college football previously last weekend. I mean, you got the big one, UGA Clemson.
Yep.
That's the one we were all watching, hoping that game would be a blowout, and it turned out to be exactly that.
It did. Austin had us completely right.
If he was here, I would be giving him props, but he's late, so I'm not going to be giving him anything. But I'm going into the halftime. It's a 6-0 game, and UGA seems to be relying heavily on the run, almost not trusting Carson Beck to throw the football whatsoever, which the UGA has been historically known for having great running backs, but you have to spread the ball out if the run game is going to work at all, which I think Mike Bobo and Kirby Smart must have discussed in the locker room. Halftime adjustments were a huge factor in this game.
Man, I just thought that Dabo could have gone for it a lot more than he did. It was 4th down a bunch, and I'm pretty sure he only went for it when he had no other choice. But you got to take some chances against the Bulldogs. If you're trying to win or at least put up a respectable amount of points, you're going to have to go for it on 4th. And I think that he thought that he was much more in this game than he actually was. Absolutely. And the final score really shows that.
Yeah, and being that we go to the University of Georgia, you can't be happier than beating the number 14 Clemson Tigers by 31 points. Huge game there. Miami, Florida, a game that I said would be close. Terrible prediction. Miami's offense just completely overpowered the Florida defense.
Yeah, I forget. Dropped my phone here. My bad. But that quarterback that they have, the transfer, I think it's Cade something. That guy is the real deal.
Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward. There we go. Yeah. He's the real deal. 3 touchdowns, I believe, and almost 400 yards.
Yeah, I had a huge game. That whole offense on Miami was completely firing all game. And the Florida defense not only didn't have an answer, but the Florida offense couldn't provide any answers either. It was just the whole game was Miami domination. Florida was, what was the final on that game was?
41-17.
41-17. Wow. That is a pummeling.
And the Florida QB didn't even throw for 100 yards.
Absolutely.
Threw for 91 and interception. That's just pitiful.
Yeah, they just didn't. Florida didn't go into that game prepared. And, you're going in. Miami went into Florida. They should have, if anything, the disadvantage there. But they went into Florida, into the swamp, and just absolutely dominated. Speaking of dominance, Boston College versus Florida State.
Oh, my word.
I know that you were an advocate for Georgia Tech, so I'd like to – what were you thinking during that game?
So here's what I'm thinking. Boston College has had a complete program turnaround under Bill O'Brien.
Right.
Who is an NFL caliber coach. Let's not pretend like he isn't. Dude still to this day has a positive record in the NFL. And there's a lot of, coaches that have positive records and maybe aren't that, highly touted, but he's proven that he can win at the highest level. So coming down to college should be pretty easy for him. And I've heard a lot of, he's changing the culture down there. And so I'm going to give a bone to Florida State here.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I believe Georgia Tech is going into that was better than a lot of people were giving them credit for. And Florida State were maybe not as good, but definitely not unrankable.
Absolutely.
I believe they should have been a little lower, but maybe not how they were. And with Boston College, the program turnaround, I think they're better than a lot of people are giving them credit for.
Sure.
So I don't think that everybody at Florida State should be like, oh, wow, we suck really bad. It should be like, we're having a down year, and Boston College and Georgia Tech have really turned it around.
I would love to see Boston College and Georgia Tech get up into the mix of being ranked football teams. But I honestly will say, personally, I cannot – there are maybe some teams that would make me happy, but I think it is so funny to watch this Florida State team that thought that they deserved to be in the college football playoff last year when there was 4 teams – now just get absolutely pummeled without their quarterback. Because DJ Uiagalelei, or however you say his name, is not the guy.
He's not it.
He missed an open receiver in the end zone, I think 3 plays in a row. I'll give him benefit of the doubt on 1, but 2 of them were wide open receiver overthrows. And it's just that Florida State team they're just not the same without quarterback last year.
Oh yeah, Jordan Travis. And but to be honest, the next 2 games should give us, I think, we should really see how they are, because we have Memphis coming up for them in California, and I do believe that they are not as good as Boston College and Georgia Tech. Let's see what else we got. So a little predictions for Tech here. I mean, they obviously pulled it out against Georgia State. Not that anybody was, thinking that was going to be close at all, but Georgia State was a team that is relying super heavily on the portal, just like Colorado. So they've gone. I mean, this year has just shown that the portal is just not as what everyone thought it would be. You can't really just rely on the portal and hope to just all of a sudden start winning.
Absolutely. So, big news. Look who is here.
There you go.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry about my lateness. Let's not make this a theme. I'll do my best. I'm sorry.
Well, we got we haven't talked about much yet. We went into the Braves, and then we talked about the UGA Clemson game. I guess first we could talk about how right you were that game would be.
Yep.
I was gonna say, did we talk about how I was right? Or
we did. We gave you props, but I wasn't gonna give you too much because of your timeliness. But I'm still gonna give you your props for being correct on your pick. And then you were also I don't remember your prediction for the Miami-Florida game, but I thought that game was gonna be close. I don't know if you thought.
I have no faith in Billy Napier, and I never thought that one was going to be close.
Yeah, and
I also didn't think Cam Ward was going to be as impressive as he looked.
We were talking about that. That was nuts.
Surprised at all by FSU losing to Boston College?
I'm not. I think it's almost like Georgia just kicked something out of them.
Yeah,
they were playing well. They were playing good football, and then they lose to Georgia by 60, and they can't beat Boston College.
Yeah. I mean. And that's a team that I cannot name you a player on that Boston College roster, but
I can barely name you any alumni.
Well, I know Matt Ryan.
That's true. That's true.
That's the one I know.
Atlanta will always know at least one BC alumnus.
Yeah, and but apparently I saw some statistic that their quarterback had like 2,000 pass yards and 1,000 rush yards last year, and
he's pretty highly touted.
He was one of the only. He had the most yards from scrimmage since like Matt Ryan and some other Boston College alumni. So he went in there and he got it done against Florida State for sure.
And it's a Bill O'Brien coach team, so
it is. They
got some experience there.
Yeah. Former Texans coach.
I'm surprised because they shouldn't lose that game, but I'm also not surprised because of what they've shown us in their last 3 appearances.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Idaho, Oregon.
I put this one on here just because Oregon maybe not that good.
Yeah, I saw them drop a lot.
They did. They dropped
to 6.
What was their? Yeah, let's check. I'll check the AP poll here. But they were high. Yeah, they dropped to 7 from 3.
Ooh. That's the high explosive offense that we were looking for.
This is the new powerhouse in the Big Ten.
Dude, I saw a lot of sleeper picks of them winning the Natty.
But I will say I'm not going to completely judge Oregon based on their performance against Idaho. But
Week 1, new QB.
Yeah. You can let that offense. I mean, they have weapons over there. They do. But they're playing Boise State this week. I would think that they could get back in the. I'd love to see Boise State lose. That's my rebuild team in college football 25. So, would love to see a win out of the boys in blue there.
I'd love to see Oregon at Boise State. See some
exactly
uniforms on that blue turf.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Dude, I never thought that the ACC would look like how it does right now with the divisions, because you got like Boston College and Georgia Tech
Or the
like
powerhouses.
1 through 5, and then you got like the bottom half is just like Virginia,
Clemson, FSU.
You know, they're all just
Yeah.
so bad. It's like flipped.
We love a good week 1 overreaction.
Oregon is done. The dynasty of Oregon is over.
Yeah, I mean, they're never going to be good again.
They probably won't. They'll probably.
I'm being honest.
I would be surprised if they win a football game in the next 20 years. But I guess this week we can talk about Tennessee Tech, Georgia, but there should be no issue here. Should be a pummeling, I would think.
Easy J-Dub.
I'm just excited. Hopefully we get to see Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah.
Maybe some other young players play. Maybe
After
we'll
it
see
becomes like a 60
Puglisi
point.
get in there.
Yeah.
See the kid, this kid from Mass, you know. Gotta let him see what he can do. But it should be a quick one. Wouldn't be surprised if we give up one, maybe a field goal. Probably win by 45. Line's probably 37.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking up what the line is right now. Let's see. And then, I mean, obviously we've got the line is 53.5. Holy cow.
Ooh, that's a tough cover.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not really sure how bad this team is.
53.5.
I don't know about they. Some of their players might also get paid to play football too.
Yeah, I mean,
probably not, but
I don't know.
Maybe.
I wonder what UJ is paying Tennessee Tech to come in here and get.
Yeah, I mean, this is the easy home opener. Just roundhouse kick them in the face.
Yeah, we're funding their program this year, but that's why football's like this. We try to do this. It's for the good of the sport, I think.
So Ed, one you're not going to be that happy to talk about.
Well, I'm prepared to talk about it, but I'm also a realist. Okay, I'm a Michigan fan, obviously,
Texas by 20.
But I think that Texas is going to win by 17. I think it's going to be 37-20, Texas.
I wouldn't be surprised
if it's a blowout.
I wouldn't be surprised if this one stays close.
Really? I would love it.
Only because
this is where Austin goes.
I don't think so. I think. Remind me your coach's name.
It's the crying guy.
Yes.
Hold on.
I mean, I can say the guy who cried, but the audience might know.
Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore. I think that he is going to get these guys hyped up, ready for an SEC matchup, where they can go out as a Big Ten team. Nobody thinks that they're going to be any good this year.
Yeah.
Can they go out and at least make a statement and say, "Hey, we're still Michigan. We're not Iowa. We're not some of these teams that are in the bottom of the Big Ten." So I wouldn't be surprised to see Michigan keep this one close. I think Texas is still going to win it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this one is within 2 scores.
Well, here's the only benefit of the doubt I'm going to give Michigan. Of course, as the homer in me, I am picking Michigan to win that game. But I do think that Texas is probably going to win.
Yeah.
But I am going to pick Michigan for myself. But the thing about Michigan is their QB situation is what is screwing with them right now. They have Alex Orji, but they're not starting him for a reason that it must be something interior that I don't see.
Has that been announced at all?
I haven't seen anything beyond that. I think Davis Warren is still the quarterback, so I don't know.
You might want to save a year of his eligibility. Is he redshirt?
No, I don't think he's a redshirt.
Would have been his redshirt last year.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, you got Donovan Edwards, good running back. You've got Will Johnson on defense. It's a team that could keep it close, but I do not think that Michigan is the national championship team that they were last year.
Well, they only beat Fresno State by 20. Final score was 30-10, and then Texas destroyed.
That scoreboard does not show how that game went either. There was a pick six with like 7 minutes left in that. It was a 13-point game until that pick six late game. So,
dude, Austin, man, that's going to be a wild pick. But hey, if you're right, we're going to give you the props, man.
I think he's going to get him ready to play. Let's see if we can make this a habit. I'll just make a take that Will thinks is wrong.
And then it's right every week.
Right. I just keep proving Will wrong.
I'd love to see
it. Let's just keep doing that.
Start paying you to make picks I don't agree with, just to like benefit me. Like Panthers are going to the Super Bowl. I just don't see it happening.
What other games we got?
Well, we got Georgia Tech, Syracuse, so ACC matchup. I'm expecting Georgia Tech to win that, and if they don't, then that's going to spell trouble for.
Well, Tech's ranked these days.
Yeah, 23, man. They're getting up there, but they need to win every single game. But like maybe Georgia and like Notre Dame. But if they do that, I think that they can then go to the playoffs.
Agreed. I mean, I don't know about. I mean, it would take a lot to get to the playoff because you got to think Tech's losing to Georgia. Let's assume, right? And then who else is on their schedule this year? They can't have the easiest schedule in the world. They're still Georgia Tech.
Well, they just gotta win the championship, and then don't they get an automatic berth?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but they have to. But that assumes that they have to get to that championship. I still do think that Clemson is going to win most of their games this year. So Clemson's probably going to be in the mix. FSU, I'm not sure of now. 2 unranked losses. I don't think that they'll make it to the ACC championship. But Tech's got to go through Notre Dame. They got to go through Louisville. They got to play Georgia.
They got to play Miami.
Yeah, who just pummeled Florida.
That kid is legit.
Y'all just wait.
The Cam guy, yeah.
Everything is
NC
so
State.
casual, and it looks good to watch him play football.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that I think it's fun to watch I know he's not like the big name guy, but King on Georgia Tech, that guy can throw the ball. That guy can sling it, and he puts his body on the line.
He almost threw for 300 yards last game, and he'll just run through you. He'll tank all the hits.
And he's throwing to like engineers. I mean, he's making this happen.
As an engineer, we're not that good at football.
Put Austin out there.
Throw him a QB.
4th and 1, game on the line. Give me Austin Conway right up the middle.
I mean, he can sling that rock.
You guys want to talk about this NFL
opener
here?
Yeah, opening week. Huge.
Football is so back.
It's back. I mean, we got fantasy tonight. Haven't checked my lineup. I'll do it after the show.
I got the king in, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Hoping for 2 rushing TDs.
I don't know who I got playing this week. We'll have to check. But this first game, Ravens-Chiefs, big one, banger to start off.
I want to pick the Ravens. I do, because I want the Ravens to beat the Chiefs. I want them to win that game. But I'm going to pick the Chiefs there. I think that's a much smarter and safer pick. They own that team, so I'm going Chiefs.
I think, you know what, before we had this show, we were talking about this, and I was like, it's the Chiefs' game to lose. They just always have the Ravens number. But this game, I'm going with the Ravens. I think Derrick Henry's he's gonna really like switch it up here. They're gonna be playing a different style of run. You know, they've been the big thing with Kansas City and then the Ravens is that they always try to throw the ball when they're playing Kansas City, and that's not what they're good at. They're good at running it. And so I'd say with Henry and then Lamar at the double threat, I think that they're going to pull it out here.
Austin?
Did Lamar get too skinny?
I don't know.
Did you see that he lost 15 pounds?
Did he?
But in the offseason. Do we think he needed to lose 15 pounds?
I don't think
it was all water weight.
I don't think he needed to lose any weight.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's the slowest guy. He's pretty quick.
He's quick.
So,
really quick.
I don't know. Saying that is a joke. I actually do have the Ravens in this one.
I'm the only one picking the Chiefs. That amazes me. That amazes me.
I think I said it last week where this is a similar spot that the Lions were in, where it's more of kind of like an up and coming team, and they're just ready to kind of make that push for a Super Bowl. And I think they come in here. I think they try to make a statement versus Chiefs, and I think they come out.
I would like to see the Ravens win this game, but I don't think it's going to happen in Kansas City tonight.
Right. If they want any chance at winning a Super Bowl, it's got to start tonight.
Yeah, because you got to go through Kansas City one way or another. And then tomorrow night we got Packers-Eagles.
Man, I'm totally taking the Packers on this one.
Okay.
100%. I think that Jordan Love's the real deal, and the Eagles I think they're on the biggest skid against the spread in like NFL history, or like since crazy long ago. I think it's like 7 or 8 games in a row where they have not covered, and Green Bay just looks totally legit. So I'm taking Green Bay in this.
Okay, Austin.
I like the Eagles this season. I like them to have a good bounce back year. You know, maybe I did fall for it. Maybe I fell for a little bit of the hype, but I like the Eagles in this matchup. I like them.
Now.
I was gonna
say they
say
do have Saquon Barkley. They got somebody that can run the ball. They got a power rusher. We'll see how the old QB sneak
tush push.
The tush push, how that shakes out without Jason Kelsey there at center. But
yeah, he retired.
I think that they're gonna have a good year this year. I really do. I think they're gonna bounce back. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but I think they'll have a good year.
I don't think it's unreasonable to say that Philly team can be a Super Bowl team if that offense. I mean, I know they had a very similar team last year, but I mean, you're looking at Jalen Hurts, who can be a top 5 quarterback in the league, Saquon Barkley, who can be a top 5 running back in the league, A.J. Brown can probably be a top 5 wideout in the league, Devonta Smith, top 15 wideout, and then Dallas Goedert, that's their tight end.
Yep,
so he's like
tight end.
top 10. I mean, that is a good team with a good offensive line. They lost Kelsey, but they have a good offensive line over there. I'm taking Philadelphia in that game.
Just to play devil's advocate here, going against that point. Last year, at the end of the last bit of the season, they had all of those pieces minus Saquon, and they lost what? 7, 8 in a row.
Which is what I'm saying. It kind of amazed me that I don't know if it's play calling or if these guys are better than we think that they are, or maybe their defense is what struggles. I'm not really certain of it, but I'm with Austin in this one. I think a bounce back year is due for Philadelphia, is my opinion.
Alrighty.
Panthers, Saints.
Yeah, we'll go through a couple of these pretty fast.
I'll knock this one out quick. I hate the Saints. I'm picking Carolina.
Let's go. I'm also going with Carolina because I'm a Carolina fan.
It's going to be Carolina for me. I think the Saints are terrible.
Wow, a triple pick on Carolina is something I wouldn't think I'd see until maybe 2030 after this rebuild.
I think maybe if they were playing anybody else in the NFL, I'm probably not picking the Panthers. But versus the Saints, I got them.
All right, there we go. I like that. Like three no Saints picks. Always fun to see. Vikings, Giants. This is a battle of who is worse, and I think the Giants are going to slip a win in here in week 1.
Ooh, wow. I
don't think they're going to win many games this year, but I don't think the Vikings are complete. I just think they are in shambles right now. If you're ever throwing in, no offense, Will, if you're ever throwing in Sam Darnold at your QB, that is a team that is struggling in the clubhouse. I'm picking the Giants.
I think the Vikings are going to torch them.
Wow.
I think they're going to win by like 21. Like I think the Vikings are going to win big here. Sam Darnold has an arm, and he can put it up to be in the general vicinity of a wide receiver, and they have Justin Jefferson. And
I do think that
the
Justin
general
Jefferson
vicinity,
is the piece.
he is going to get it. So I think a lot of Sam Darnold's shortcomings are going to be fixed by that. So I think the Vikings are going to get him pretty good.
Definitely could happen.
I just see nothing in this Vikings team that makes me want to believe in them versus this Giants team.
But the Giants are the worst team in the NFL.
I don't think that they are. I think that they have some pieces there that can make them a good football
Neighbors.
team. They're not
Daniel Jones.
They're
Who's running the ball over
team.
there now?
Jim Bob.
Hold on. Who is the New York Giants running back? Starting. I mean, he can't be a guy on anyone's roster. Tyrone Tracy Jr.? No, Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary. Okay. Nice veteran running back.
He's a veteran. I've had him on my fantasy team stashed on my bench the past 5 years. But I don't know.
I think they'll get some production. I think Daniel Jones will come out and play well. Throw those nice new young receivers. Squeak out a win here versus the Vikings at 1 o'clock.
I like that pick. Patriots, Bengals. Now this is the worst. Now this is the actual.
They are the worst team in football.
Yeah, I would agree with this.
We probably shouldn't even do any game that the Patriots are playing. They're going 0-16. They are terrible.
Yeah, there should be no issue with us all picking. I would hope there should be no problem with Cincinnati being picked and all of that there. And then we got my favorite game: Steelers Falcons. Give me the Falcons. Give me ATL. Getting the season off with a win. I think it's going to be Homer, I think it's going to be a fairly confident win. I think they win by 2 scores.
I would have to agree with the win. I don't know by 2 scores, but I think the Falcons will come out and win this. It might be sloppy, but I think they'll get it done. The Steelers are always start off the season, at least for the past couple of years, where they are negative in record until like week 12, and then they just somehow pull it out. So I would also go with the Falcons on that one.
All right.
It's got to be the Falcons here.
There we go.
The Steelers don't know who their quarterback is yet. Yeah. I don't think. They say it's Russell Wilson. I don't think anybody's really sure. I think it's going to be Justin Fields by at least week 8. So I think that the Steelers have some stuff to figure out before.
Is it currently Russ? It
is currently Russ.
I agree that Justin Fields by the end of the year will probably be starting.
Yeah, the players want Fields, I think.
He's a younger QB. I think he has more talent available right now.
All right, let's go ahead and speed run this last little bit here so we can get at least a couple words in about the Sunday night and Monday night. So we got Texans Colts. I'm taking the Texans.
Okay. Yeah, I got to go Texans there as well. I guess we'll just let's we got to get to these last two games. I think are the big ones. So let's just rapid fire finish off these last. So we got Texans in the last one. Is Cardinals Bills. We all Bills.
I'm going
Bills.
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Wow.
You're wrong. That's okay.
Just wait.
Titans Bears.
Just wait.
I love my Titans. They're gonna lose to the Bears here.
Yeah, I
Give me
think,
Will Levis and the Titans.
Man, I gotta go. It's a young. Yeah, I gotta go Bears there as well. I trust Caleb Williams there. All right, Jags Dolphins.
Early in the season, it's hot out. Got to be the Dolphins.
I think that's a good game, and they both are Florida teams. Jags got a good little thing going down there, but I agree, Dolphins' offense is too strong.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
All right.
I was trying to come up with a reason for the Jags, could not.
Yeah, Broncos Seahawks.
Who cares? But I guess it's the Seahawks.
I think the Broncos are going to win this.
You know, man, I'm with you. I think Bo Nix is going to have a good
yeah.
game. I'm.
I'll never bet on a Bo Nix team.
Hey, man, that Oregon team was good last year.
Arguably game of the week coming up here. Raiders, Chargers.
Wow.
Big
Ladder
one.
Brock.
Give me Brock there. I'm going Raiders in that game.
I'm gonna go Raiders as well.
I am with y'all. I'm going Raiders.
All right. Cowboys Browns.
Give me Browns. I'm going with the Browns.
I'm
The defense is too much.
I'm going Cowboys.
Mike McCarthy's coaching for his job. Cowboys.
All right. Commanders Bucks.
Coaching for his job.
That's true. Bucks. It's got to be the Bucks. Commanders are rebuilding. I like Jaden Daniels, but the Bucks and Baker, I think it's got to be them.
I think Baker's going to have a little bit of regression this year, and I really like Commanders. So I'm going with Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go Bucks there. I think Bucks.
All right, we got Rams Lions. This is a big one.
It's got to be the Lions, though. I think it's going to be a good game, but I would be hard pressed to pick the Rams over this.
I think
the Lions are just hot, and they're like a top 3, top 4 team in the NFL right now. The Rams are good. They might be top 12, top 10, but I think there's a big step in between the Rams and the Lions.
I think the Lions are a possible Super Bowl team this year, so I'm picking them as well.
I agree. I love Dan Campbell week 1. Get the boys going. I think the Lions.
Good picks there. And then we got our last game because we're running out of time here. We got Jets 49ers. I know who you're picking.
I'm picking the 40 Jets. Give me the Jets.
Yeah, I was about to go nuts.
Big Aaron Rodgers guy. We knew that.
Yeah, we knew that was a Jets pick there. I'm Niners. It's a strong offense. No reason they should lose that game.
It's got to be the Niners.
I mean,
they went to the Super Bowl.
They did. They've gone to the Super Bowl the past.
Aaron Rodgers played less than 5 snaps last year.
But the year before that, he was coming off back-to-back MVP seasons.
I do actually. I have Aaron Rodgers in both of my fantasy leagues. I have no problem if he has an MVP year this year, but I don't know if
he has all the tools to do it. He has Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. He's got everyone.
He does have a good offense down there,
And
but
even better defense.
I just don't know. I just don't know if they're going to be. We'll see. But that is the end of the rundown. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.